Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. Cardi B and Candace Owens, they had a little spat this week, and it turns out that Candace is going to sue Cardi B. So, you know me, I got things to say. I talked to the brothers at Hip Hop Uncensored the other day about this, and I want to break down a couple subtleties about this Candace Owens Cardi B situation that will hopefully give you some all Black insight. So get comfortable, hit the thumbs up button, share, subscribe. We're going to get started on drboycetv.com right now.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. I hope you guys are having a good day. Also, remember, this platform is Black first. We put the Black community first. Hashtag B1 is the hashtag that we use to indicate that. Black first means that you put your community at the top of your priority list. It means that you solve your problems before you solve everybody else's problems. It doesn't mean you don't care about other issues. Doesn't mean you don't care about Asian hate crimes or whatever the hell people are talking about at that particular moment. It just means you put your own people first. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with being Black first. And I think it's okay to love yourself. So if you agree with that philosophy, if you agree that we can put ourselves first and at the top of the priority list, put a hashtag B1 in the chat. Please do that, because that way we know we're on the same page. So Cardi B and Candace Owens, I was asked the other day by these brothers that I just really love on a show there's a platform called Hip Hop Uncensored, where these brothers really do a great job on various hip hop topics. And these are young brothers that apparently, I guess that they followed me from way back before the Breakfast Club days. And I just love them because I think that they're really good at what they do. And they asked me about the Cardi B, Candace Owens spat. Now, give me a yes or no in the chat if you've been following at all, if you've noticed at all that Candace Owens and Cardi B were kind of having a little thing online. Let me know if you've seen any of that or any of that's been going on. Give me a yes or no. It's been really interesting to watch. It's very entertaining. Candace Owens and Cardi B are kind of in the same field. They're kind of in the same field. Tariq Nasheed might say something like when bed wenches go wild or whatever. That might be his term for this sort of plantation fight. That's what I call it. I call it a plantation fight. Cardi B and Candace Owens were going back and forth because Cardi B basically, gave a performance at the Grammys, which should be described as soft porn, where literally it's hilarious, right? Because they want to cancel Pepe Le Pew, right? But yeah, you got women grinding each other on stage, like they're trying to, whatever, man. And your kids are watching. You're trying to explain to the kids what it is, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It really just speaks to the insanity and the debauchery that really comes out of Hollywood. I mean, it really speaks to the fact that you have a problem in your community. And one of your problems you have in your community is that somehow somebody taught you as a child that you should be worshiping mentally ill celebrities. I actually said this on my Twitter today. My Twitter is Dr. Boyce Watkins 1, Dr. Boyce Watkins, the number 1. And I literally said, very simply, I said, stop worshiping mentally ill celebrities. Because here's the deal, like a lot of your favorite celebs, the most famous people out here, you think that they're cool because they got a record deal. You think that person's a good person because they were in somebody's movie. But the reality is that a lot of these people are really messed up. I mean, some of these people are really messed up. And if you look at Cardi's life, poor thing, and she's not a bad, I mean, I think she's a talented rapper. Y'all might not agree. Y'all might think she has no talent. I think that's wrong. I think that's biased to say Cardi has no talent. Cardi has talent, no question about it. But the problem is that some talents don't need to be shown out in front of kids. Some talents need to be kept in your bedroom. It's like, for example, if you everybody sits on the toilet and takes a dump every day. We all do it. If you're human, you have to do it. If you don't do it, you're better because you might have a health problem, right? Like literally all of us go to the bathroom and do whatever we do in the bathroom. Sometimes it's nasty, it's stinky, it's gross, but you don't go do that in public. You're not out taking a dump in the middle of the street, right? So nobody blames you if you go and take a dump in the bathroom. But if you are a person that says, well, no, I want everybody to come in the bathroom and smell it. I want everybody to come in and just take in the essence, right? I want to go do it in the middle of the street, right? Hey, I'm tired of hiding it, right? People are gonna look at you like you're crazy, right? And then if you sort of flip that into, well, what, you ain't keeping it real. Everybody take a dump. Everybody take a dump. Yeah, everybody takes a dump, but not everybody takes a dump in public. So the same thing is true when you talk about sex. Everybody does it. Everybody loves it. There's nothing wrong with loving it. We probably got a whole bunch of hoes up in this house right now, a whole bunch of freaks in this house, male and female hoe. If there's some hoes in this house, feel free to raise your hand, because it's okay if you enjoy participating in the thing that literally is the foundation of the creation of all human life in the history of this planet. Nothing wrong with that. But when you're doing certain things in front of children, there has to be a standard. And so the question I always ask when you came to Cardi B, and I'm talking about Candace Owens in a minute too, because she's hoeing in her own way. If Cardi's a prostitute, if Cardi is a prostitute, then Candace is a hooker. They're kind of in the same category in terms of what they represent, and I'm going to explain that in just 1 second. But the thing is that the problem with Cardi B is not that Cardi B does not have a right to be the biggest hoe she wants to be. It's not a problem. It's not anti-stripper. It's not a problem of saying that you can't even sell it. If you want to sell it, you can sell it. That's fine. I hope you get your money at the end of the day. But there's a thing that says, look, when we talk about this idea of protecting Black girls, I want to pause on that, because I want you to really process that for a moment. When you talk about protecting Black girls, but you're sexualizing them at the age of 7, well, are you protecting Black girls? Give me a yes or no in the chat. Is that protecting Black girls when I have her, rapping? There's some hoes in this house when she's in the 2nd grade. Am I protecting Black girls when she's reciting lyrics that tell her to sell her vagina for a bag of corn chips? Right, or maybe a trip to Red Lobster with cheddar biscuits? Yes or no? Am I protecting Black girls? Am I protecting Black girls when I got her watching the Grammys, and I got to explain to her stripper culture, right? Stripper culture is for grown men and grown women. Grown men go to strip clubs to see beautiful women doing whatever they do, and then the reverse happens as well, right? You got male strip clubs as well, whatever. Right. But so are you really protecting Black girls? Give me a yes or no in the chat. Are you protecting Black girls when you are doing everything you can to introduce them to ideas and imagery that they are not ready for in the 2nd grade? And then 4 years later, when that little girl thinks she's grown because Cardi been training her, right? Won't teach your kids nothing about financial literacy. Ain't teaching your daughters how to start businesses and how to invest, but you're teaching them how to twerk, and you're teaching them how to make sure they can fit a watermelon in their mouth, right? You're teaching them how to, well, watermelon would be kind of big, but you get the point. Maybe a cucumber, right? But you're giving them all this other imagery about what a false idea of what womanhood is. You're teaching them to devalue their own bodies. You're teaching them to devalue sex in itself. Yeah, but you didn't teach her the things she needed to know. So process this for a moment. I want you to process this, how you're putting your little Black girls into slavery when you do this. So you've not taught this little girl nothing about how to be financially independent, but you've taught her that she can get money the Cardi B way. She can get money if she does, as Cardi says, shake a little ass, get a little dough, shake it real fast, get a little more. That's a lyric. That's a Cardi lyric. So she learns all this, and she's 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. She starts thinking she's grown. A lot of us got kids. Any of y'all got teenagers in the house, 12 years old, 13 years old, going on 30, thinking they grown, thinking they're ready for the world. And you know more about the world than they do, but they think they're ready because Cardi makes them think that they're ready. So then next thing you know, she's walking home from school and some guy rolls up looking like a rapper, because that's what she's been worshiping her whole life, and has a little money in his pocket, tells her that she's pretty. Maybe she ain't even got a daddy at home to tell her that she's that she's worthy, right? So she's looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for self-esteem, looking for money, doesn't know anything about how to get her own money. So next thing you know, she's getting in the car with that drug dealer. A lot of y'all know this. You have young girls that hook up with the bad boys, and then they have traumatic stories to tell for the rest of their life about what black men did to them. Well, let me just say this. Black men didn't do shit. Black men didn't do this. This was those men that did this. This was the predators in your community that did this. You got people in your community that are looking to take advantage of little girls who were overly sexualized, who did not receive guidance and protection from the people that were supposed to love them. That's what the Cardi B's are doing to the world. So when Candace Owens spoke up on Cardi B, when Candace Owens challenged Cardi and said, this ain't right, like this is messed up, I said, good, I agree. Absolutely. Somebody needs to speak up on the Grammys. The Grammys is nonsense. It's racist anyway. We already know that, right? Y'all need to stop looking for white people to give you awards in the first place. But good. Yeah. Stop, keep your whole stuff to yourself. You don't need that to be the message that our little girls are getting. Now, Candace and Cardi end up going back and forth. And apparently, Cardi, in response, puts up a tweet about Candace that wasn't true. It was a doctor tweet about her having an affair. And I forgot what it was. It was some stuff, right? And so Candace is suing Cardi now because Cardi apparently used this fake tweet. I think Cardi knows she got busted. She took down all the tweets. I hurried up and took everything down because I'm sure there's a legal advisor, some lawyer saying, take that down. Because apparently, I guess there was a reference to Candace's brother, who is a private citizen, which means that all bets are off. At this point, it's not two celebrities beefing with each other because celebrities, famous people, it's hard to get slander and libel cases through if you're famous because people know if you're famous, people are just going to talk about you, and that's just what it is. But when you talk about private citizens, it's a problem, right? So Candace has said that the lawsuit is real. She said, I am suing Cardi B. She said, I'm going to be rich after this lawsuit. And I don't doubt it. I think Candace has a suit. I think Candace is going to have a case against Cardi B. And I think Cardi B knows that. And now the interesting thing, though, about Cardi B and Candace, the reason I say they're kind of in the same profession is because both of these women, both of these individuals are manifestations of white supremacist influence. They both represent white supremacy in their own way. Neither one of these women would be in your consciousness right now. You wouldn't know about either one of these ladies if it wasn't for some deep-pocketed white benefactor that was giving them their money and giving them their platform. Like you wouldn't know anything about Cardi B and hoes in his house and all this other stuff if it wasn't for Apple Music and Spotify and all these major white-owned labels that are promoting the most debaucherous music they possibly can because their goal is to destroy the black community, destroy the black family. It's corporatized genocide. It is it's poison that's put to a beat, right? It's poison to a beat, and it's being promoted through billions of dollars being funneled toward the most negative music possible. They say things about you that they would never say about Jewish people. They say things about you in music that they would never say about Asians. They say things about you in music they would never say about anybody else. Now, Candace, her zaddy, if you will, her white daddy is the Republican Party. The Republicans elevated Candace. They elevated Candace. Why? Well, why did they elevate Candace? Well, because Candace was the person that they needed. Trump needed her in order to point out all the horrible things the Democratic Party has been doing to black people. The Democratic Party has been neglecting and screwing black people for the longest time. Candace is an expert at pointing that out. Now, what's fascinating to me, though, is that despite the fact that Candace is very good at pointing out all the things the Democrats aren't doing for black people, she can't point out where she's doing anything better for black people, right? So I can point out why the problem isn't being solved, but I can't point out how to solve the problem. Right? So neither one of them are actually delivering for black people. Well, why is that? Well, because it's much easier for me to talk shit about what you're doing wrong than it is for me to do something better. Right. In fact, a lot of you in your life, you start a business, you start building something, you'll have people that stand outside the building just throwing rocks, but don't know the first thing about building a building. In fact, it reminds me in math. I remember that there was this thing called a derivative, and it's something where you take an equation and you break it down. You basically tear it apart and you go to the base elements of the equation. Taking a derivative is easy. I can show you how to do a derivative in about 10 minutes. It's very easy to do. But then there's something called differential equations, which is the highest level of calculus, where you go the opposite direction. You got to take the derivative and rebuild the original equation. That's hard as hell. Like, like derivatives are easy. Differential equations are hard as hell. The smartest minds in the world get stuck on tough differential equations, but it's very easy to do a derivative. It's meaning that it's very easy to break something down, but it is much, much harder to build something up. So neither Candace nor Cardi are building anything when it comes to Black people. Neither Candace nor Cardi are people that are in any way elevating the condition of Black people. Black people are not better off because of the existence of Candace Owens or Cardi B. Well, why is that? Well, because if you look at whether or not somebody's a builder or a destroyer, you got to sort of look at the ratio between how much time they spend complaining about what somebody else is doing versus how much time they spend actually creating something that is a better reality. I haven't seen anything that Candace Owens has ever created within the Republicans or not without the Republicans that has truly benefited the Black community. All she knows how to do is tell you why you should not be a Democrat. And her only solution is go with me and vote for Trump. Well, that's not a solution. That doesn't make any sense, right? And then Cardi B, in her quest for sexual freedom and sexual expression, and it's not so much about Cardi B herself because she's the puppet. She's not the puppet master. You see, you got to understand when you're playing chess with the white man, you got to stop getting mad at the puppets. You got to start looking at the puppet master. Don't worry about that ignorant Negro that's sitting on stage and buck dancing and acting a damn fool. Look past him. Look at who built the stage that you're standing on. Who's controlling the lights that are choosing to spotlight you over the other 10,000 Black people who are equally talented? Who financed the stage? Who paid for this? Right? And that's what I'm good at, right? Because my doctorate's in finance, so I'm always following the money. And I know that a Cardi B cannot exist without money. A Candace Owens cannot exist without money. So I'm always like, who's paying for this? Black Lives Matter? Where did you get that money? Like that $100 million. Where did you get that money? And how much of that money got into the pockets of the people that you allegedly represent? Is it very little? Okay, that means that some of y'all are on some fraudulent shit right now because this is all looking kind of ridiculous and crazy. And the thing that you must understand as Black people is that these people that they're putting in front of you, these are not your leaders. These are not your influencers. They should not be your influencers. But what's fascinating is that when Joe Biden was looking for somebody to interview or to speak with about the Black community, he didn't go to Dr. Claude Anderson. He didn't go to some leading scholar. He didn't go to somebody who's an activist that's in the community that really has their finger on the pulse of the community. He went to Cardi B because Cardi B is a puppet. And puppets are easy. Puppets are simple. When Trump and the Republicans were looking to really help the Black community, now, mind you, they did actually reach out to Dr. Claude Anderson. I must give them credit for that. But are they really trying to solve problems for Black people, or are they simply trying to exploit Black pain? See, so the idea here is this. Everybody exploits Black pain for their own benefit. Everybody sort of positions themselves as a person who says, look at all these terrible things that are happening to you. And then they go and they pursue some agenda that they had before they ever met you that is accelerated because they're using your pain almost like you put gas in a car. So Black Lives Matter was already about that leftist stuff. They were already about the LGBT. They were already about the feminism. They were already about the Marxism. The leaders of this organization are open Marxists. This is no secret. This is or at least one or two of them are. And I'm not dissing the Marxists that are in the room. That's fine. You can be whatever you want. But that was your broader agenda. And what you said is, I'm going to Blackify this so that I can recruit Black people to become part of my army. Right. So ultimately, what I want you to understand is that when you're talking about these games that are being played here, these are all games where there's the level 1 part of the game, and then there's the level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I want you to try to go to level 8 and understand the game within the game within the game. Candace Owens is part of a game. Candace Owens is ain't mastering shit. Candace Owens ain't leading nothing. Candace Owens is not the mastermind behind any of the stuff that's going on. Candace Owens is a puppet. She's not a stupid lady, but she's a puppet, right? Without Republican support, Candace Owens does not exist. Cardi B is a puppet. She's basically a regular woman who was stripping and hoeing, who was put on a big platform. They said, we want you to strip and hoe on a platform with millions of people so that you can misrepresent the image of the black woman all across the world, so that millions of little black girls won't grow up and become leaders. They're going to want to grow up and become hoes like you. So that's my 2 cents on the issue. That's my thought. That's all I have to say. So I'm out of here, guys. Tomorrow, by the way, Spring into Wealth is happening. If you want to participate in that event, it's an organization. I didn't found this organization, but I am supporting them. And I'm going to do 2 lectures tomorrow at the Spring into Wealth event. It's an all-day event. You can go to the URL right there on the screen. I'm going to talk about 2 things. One, the first lecture for an hour and a half, I'm going to talk about how to build your own family bank. The second lecture I'm going to do for an hour and a half of training is on how to turn your child into a millionaire, a specific direct formula. Millions of you have already done this, but if you haven't seen it, it'll change your life forever. So feel free to go to springintowealth.com. You can get 20% off if you use the code word Dr. Watkins. So put in Dr. Watkins, all one word, and you get 20% off. Bring your family. I think you're going to really enjoy it. It's really going to work. Also, Vicki Dillard, a very good friend of mine, a woman that I support and respect so much, is also doing something with Fly Nubian Mastermind. She's doing a mastermind. And if you want to learn more about that, that's Saturday too, I think. So you can go to flynubianmastermind.com. I'll type it in the screen so you can see it. So feel free to go take a look at that. So flynubianmastermind.com. All right. And I support these sorts of things because I really want you to sort of see what we're building, what the community is creating, like what's out here that real black people who really have your back are actually doing. Aaron Owens, who runs Education Over Entertainment, is a real black man who's really putting black people first. He's doing this event because he puts black people first. He's not brought to you by McDonald's and Walmart and Spotify and Apple Music or the Republican Party or the Democrats. He's brought to you by black people. Vicki Dillard, y'all see Vicki all the time. Vicki is brought to you by Vicki. Like Vicki is like, I support Vicki. She's with our network, but ain't no white people putting money into what we're doing, right? So I'm not trying to tell you to go support what we're doing, or you don't have to do all that. You can do it if you want to. What I'm saying to you is that I think at the end of the day, if we want to have the right conversations in our community, they must be conversations that are initiated by us, where the final goal is to do something for us. Right. So the Black Business School was built for us. I uninvited the rest of the world so that we could invite you. And it's funded by us, for us. So look at that sort of thing in addition to all the stuff that's brought to you by Democrats and Republicans, because what's happening is that there are scenarios where there are partnerships that are equal partnerships, and there are partnerships where the horse is dragging the cart. So in a lot of cases, what you'll see is that other groups, so-called allies, are basically the horse, and they're like, we want you to be the cart. We want to partner with you by dragging you into our stuff and doing things for us, working for our businesses, funding our universities, living in our neighborhoods to raise our property values, promoting our issues, whatever. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having an agenda, but I believe every agenda for us should be a black agenda, right? So I think that when you look at anything, and I encourage you, go deep down the rabbit hole, find out what's really going on, and then say, okay, we know that there's an agenda. I know that you're trying to get something from this, but is it their agenda, or is it an agenda that I can relate to? If you can relate to that agenda, then support that. But if you can't relate to it, then you should unapologetically walk away and say thank you, but no thank you. So in my view, when it comes to politics, Democrat, Republican, because Cardi B and Candace Owens, that is a battlefront of the ultimate battle between Democrats and Republicans. These are the two, pretty much almost the two most prominent black women or women of color, whatever term y'all want to use, when it comes to Democrat Republican values. I mean, with Cardi, you've also got Michelle Obama and Kamala Harris, who are, of course, in a different space politically. But literally, Cardi B is a huge face for the Democratic Party because she did that interview with Joe Biden. Candace Owens is the leading black woman for the Republican Party. She replaced Omarosa. So this is not a battle between two black women per se. This is a battle between two black women who've chosen two different teams to play for. It's almost like when the Pittsburgh Steelers play the Dallas Cowboys. One is wearing a Steelers uniform, one's wearing a Cowboys uniform. So it's not really, Eric Wilson against John Smith. It's the Dallas Cowboys against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Eric and John are just proxies for a larger battle. You follow what I'm saying? And I don't want you to be proxies. I want you to be the real thing. I don't want you to be playing for the Cowboys and playing for the Steelers. I want you to own the goddamn team. Do you follow what I'm saying? I don't want you to be the puppets. We should be the puppet masters. If it's going to be a damn puppet in here, then the master needs to be from our community so that we can make sure that whatever's going on, that we're owning that. Like our movements. Black Lives Matter is not my movement. The Black Lives Matter, I agree with the term, but Black Lives Matter ain't my movement. That's their movement with a black face. I want our movement to be created by us, funded by us, and pursued by us with our agenda. Do you follow what I'm saying? I don't think Candace Owens and Cardi B represent much of anybody, but most of the people in this room are probably disgusted by both of them and really disgusted by this whole idea that you would even be expected to pick a side. How about I pick neither one of y'all? How about that? How about I just say that both of y'all just need to stay over there because I'm not trying to mess with any of that. And that's where I stand on this issue. I was asked about it yesterday. I thought about it last night. And so I'm talking about it to you today. That's all I got to say. If you could take 1 second, please hit the thumbs up button, share button, subscribe button. I got to go. I told Alicia we were going to go running 15 minutes ago. So now I got to go explain why I'm late. But I got into this and I had to share this thought. And so I hope this helps you process some of this a little bit better. So God bless you, everybody. Have a good day. I will see you soon. Take care. Be good. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to co-sign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.